I kind of like the brad nailers that Senco makes, and I have one of those. But I also like the stapler. I don't know which gun I like the best, but I can tell you this: in the cabinet industry, it's a toss-up. I mean, some people are using the stapler more, and others are using the nailer more. I think that the nail gun, is pretty good for attaching moldings because you get such a tiny little hole. Whereas the stapler leaves a little bit more of a mark. Well, anyway, today I want to talk about the stapler, and specifically the quarter crown stapler. There's other crowns available, you know, wider top on the, when I'm talking about the crown of a staple, I'm talking about this spot up here at the top. Well, this is 1/4 inch wide here, and they have other widths, quite a few other widths, but we're talking today about the 1/4 inch or quarter crown stapler from Senco. And to start right off, I want to talk a bit about the staple. Senco puts a coating on this staple. They call it Senco. And what it does when you staples are feeding down the magazine, when it fires it into your project, it heats up and it acts sort of like a lubricant. And then once it's in, it acts like an adhesive, and it sticks in there pretty good. And you'll know what I mean if you ever shoot something into hardwood and try to take it apart. That adhesive really works. It really sticks. So we're going to talk about 3 guns in this video. The SLS18MG. Another one is the SKS-XPL Audacious. Now the one that I got here, the one that I'm using is the SLS18MG. And the reason I chose this gun is because it shoots the shortest nail at 3/8 of an inch, and it shoots the shortest staple at 3/8 of an inch, and the longest staple of these quarter crown staples at 1 5/8 inches. So this is a mighty good stapler, and for my purpose. I built a set of cabinets for my wife Diane, and I used this thing exclusively because there was no place where I had to worry about the crown of the staple showing. With the nailers, that's kind of nice when you're doing trim because it leaves such a little mark, so that's why the nailer is really popular. Well, the staple gun is for like the backs of cabinets and putting things together. Well, this cabinet that I designed for Diane, 2 of them, I didn't have to worry much about the staple showing, and so that's what I used. Well, let's take a look at shooting a few of these staples, and I'm shooting it, believe it or not, into rubber wood. So I got rubber wood here and rubber wood here. You can't even get rubber wood anymore. Well, it's available if you want to go to Vietnam, but supply chain makes it a little tough. You can't get it here anymore, I don't think. Don't quote me on anything I say. So I'm going to fire this into, this used to be a cutting board. I cut these pieces off so we can test it. So here we go. I'm going to put 1 round in here, and she's in, and she's out of sight. Guess what? There's no staples in it. That's the way I operate. Let's just put some staples in it. It's pretty easy to load. In the magazine, you just drop your staples down in here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop in the 1 1/4 inch right into that slot and close it. Now we have staples in this gun. It's going to make a lot of difference than trying to shoot without staples. You'll notice I'm wearing my safety glasses. So here we are, 2 pieces of rubber wood. We're going to staple them together. See if this nail sinks all the way in. I mean staple. It is gone. That's really nice. That's what we like. SLS18MG has two positions for the trigger. There's sequential fire and contact fire. So what's the difference? Well, sequential fire requires you to press the nose against the surface, then pull the trigger. You can't pull the trigger, then press the nose. So, sequential fire. Put the nose against your surface and pull the trigger. Now, The contact fire, that's where we switch this position. And once you do that, it don't matter. You can pull the trigger, it doesn't matter. When you hit the surface, a nail's coming out every time. I know they use it in cabinet shops a lot. Things have got to go fast. So that's why the contact fire method is popular. Let's clarify a little bit on this contact fire and sequential fire. So I'm going to set this stapler to sequential fire. This is like a single shot. You depress the safety, and pull the trigger. That's the only way you can do it. Depress the safety, pull the trigger. Nothing else. You can try, but if you don't release that safety, you're not going to be able to fire another shot. So depress the safety, pull the trigger, and lift the gun off the surface. Depress the safety, pull the trigger, lift the gun off the surface. That's how it works. Now the bump fire is quite a bit different than that. Let me give you some examples. With bump fire or contact firing, you can treat it like sequential fire. You could depress the safety and pull the trigger, pick it up, depress the safety, pull the trigger. You can do that. The way it's intended to be used, the bump fire, is that you pull the trigger and you hit your surface and fire. That's how it works. You can't just hit the surface. The trigger needs to be pulled to make that work. Let's take a really kind of a close look at these features. Right here is a little dial. You can adjust your depth of drive. Turn this left or right and you'll get an adjustable depth of drive. But here, there's this little red lever. When you switch it from one position to the other, that gives you the ability to have sequential fire, where you have to press the nose against the piece and then pull the trigger. And on the other position, then you have contact fire, where you pull that trigger and you bump the nose in it, and you're going to fire stable. As I mentioned earlier, all three of these quarter crown staplers from Senco are really nice staplers. They're 18 gauge, so they give you a good substantial staple in your project. The SLS18MG is the only one of the three guns that gives you a choice, whether you want to use sequential fire or bump fire, which is called contact fire, on the gun. The other two guns, they are contact fire only. That means bump fire only. That's your only option on those. So they're good guns. They got a good broad range of staples that can be used in them. They're great in the cabinet shop. I think you would enjoy having one of these quarter crown staplers from Senco. Now, if you like this video, do the thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and share this with all of your friends. And thank you for watching.